जैसा कोई नहीं, मैं गाया जहां भी बस तेरी याद थी, जो मेरे साथ थी, मुझको तड़पा दिल लाती, सबसे प्यारी तेरी सूरत, प्यार है बस तेरा प्यार ही, माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम, अम्मा तुझे सलाम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। तेरे पास ही मैं आ रहा हूँ, अपनी बाहें खोल दे, जोर से मुझको गले लगा दे, मुझको फिर वो प्यार दे। जिंदगी है तू ही मेरे मोहब्बत है, तेरे ही पैरों में जन्नत है, तू ही ना जान बाबा, माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम, अम्मा तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे
Let us get back into the pre-independence period, say 1945. There have been many episodes in the life of the father of our nation, the Mahatma. We present before you one such incident where we find the unity of our leaders, the right attitude and the sacrificial tendency of Mahatma Gandhi. Time alone will endure, all the rest will be swept always in the tide of time. So let us watch the man with the lion's jaw.
दोस्तों, आज हम यहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं एक ऐसी यात्रा का आरंभ करने के लिए जिसकी मंजिल एकजुट होकर ही हासिल होगी। सही पंडित जी। और असफलता तो तब मिलती है जब हम अपने आदर्शों, उद्देश्यों और सिद्धांतों को भूल जाते हैं। एकता ही हमारी ताकत है जो हमें असफल होने नहीं देगी।
मैं पंडित जी से सहमत हूँ। जब हम अंग्रेज शासकों से मिलेंगे तब हम उन्हें अपनी ताकत और क्षमता से आश्वस्त कर देंगे और उन्हें बता देंगे कि हम अपने देश के संविधान के आधार पर अपने देश की बागडोर और शासन पूरी क्षमता के साथ चला सकते हैं। सही ना पंडित जी?
जी बिल्कुल।
Yes, I agree with Nehru and Dr. Ambedkar. We shall also prove that the scattered provinces of our states will be in a singular nation.
Sardar Patel ji, and we always strive for justice. Justice will be done to all. No individual, no religion, no community will be affected. We shall try our best to build this as a secular thing.
Here, Babu has
नमस्ते बापू।
We have traveled a long way to come to this stage of peace talks. We have tried all the methods in the way of non-violence. Struggle in the non-violence way has been very successful. I want my country to be the harbinger of peace to the world. We shall always strive for getting justice to the downtrodden. We must aim as Gram Rajya. The time is right for getting our freedom. Stop all agitations. Representations of all the people will go to Delhi to have a talk. Please pray for us as we go.
तुम्हें पता है आज बापूजी और बाकी नेता अंग्रेजों से मिलने जा रहे हैं। अच्छा देखो बापूजी आ गए। कहाँ? बापूजी बापूजी अरे क्या कर रहे हो बापू साहब? हाँ तो
My dear son, what do you want?
बापूजी आपने ऐसी पोशाक क्यों पहनी है?
Why? Don't you like this?
नहीं ऐसा नहीं, पर आप तो अंग्रेजों से मिलने जा रहे हो और आप ऐसे धोती और शॉल में जाओगे? वो तो सूट बूट में होते हैं बिल्कुल टकाटक।
You are a very bold boy. Who are you?
मैं मुन्ना, मैं अपनी माँ का बेटा। मेरी माँ बहुत सुंदर सुंदर कपड़े सिलाती है। क्या मैं आपके लिए एक कुर्ता और एक पजामा सिलाने के लिए कहूँ या फिर मेरे पापा के नए कपड़े ले आओ?
Thank you. I am very glad. You offered me dress. You are a nice boy. Have you seen any Indians wearing this sort of dress, my boy?
हाँ, किसान तो ऐसे ही कपड़े पहनते हैं।
They wear this dress in all the seasons, be it summer, winter or rainy. They don't even have a spare one. Once I was also wearing a coat and a shirt. But after seeing my own Indian brothers and sisters suffering so much, I want to be one among them. I want to know their suffering and help them out. So I am wearing this dhoti and shawl.
इस समस्या का बस एक ही हल है, आजादी।
Yes, once we are free, all Indians will get the fruit of their hard work. Come on, let us march on for our struggle to freedom. Jai Hind!
जय हिंद।
नन्ही सी हंसी भोली सी खुशी फूलों सी वो बाहें भूल गए जब देश ने दी आवाज हमें हम घर की राहें भूल गए। हम सोए नहीं कई रातों से जाने वतन सा चांद बुझे हमें नींद उसी दिन आएगी जब देखेंगे आबाद तुझे। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। मजबूर हुई जब दिल की दुआ तो हमने दवा से काम लिया वो नब्ज नहीं फिर थमने दी जिस नब्ज को हमने थाम लिया। बीमार है जो किस धर्म का है हमसे न कभी ये भेद हुआ सरहद पे जो वर्दी खाकी थी अब उसका रंग सफेद हुआ। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू।
We never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will stay awake to live for freedom. We have completed 75 years as an independent nation, and this could have only been possible by the great sacrifices of leaders both known and unknown. Respected Principal Ma'am, teachers, parents and all my dear friends, wishing you a very glorious morning. On this occasion, I stand before you to once again revive the sacrifices, revolutions and promises that we had once given to and for this nation. Today, when we stand at the threshold of the 75th Independence Day for the success achieved by a country for hand in hand standing as the largest democracy in the world, 6th largest economy and the 8th in terms of information and technology. Twice invaded by foreigners, facing the agony of partition, standing strong in the face of all, that's India. There is no denying that the trump achieved by our country is much more. Yet India continues to be burdened by its grave enemies like poverty and corruption. What we have gained is political freedom, but what we need is economical growth and an ethical nation. Time has come to ask ourselves that what can we give to our country on this Independence Day? Let us resolve to give something unique, something precious. I promise that today onwards I will teach 5 people who cannot read and write and lead them to limelight. I will ensure that a home is a home of ethics and give a corruption-free home to our nation. Let us not take the freedom of India for granted. We should try our best to make India a better place, a legacy to live and a legacy to die for. I'd like to conclude my speech with the words of Chandrasekhar Azad. अब भी जिसका खून न खौला, खून नहीं वो पानी है, जो इस वतन के काम न आए वो बेकार है. जय हिंद. थैंक यू.
Good morning, one and all. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank our respected principal ma'am, Mrs. Kalpana Baraukar, for being the catalyst and stimulates us to do our best and standing as pillar of strength. Ma'am, you have been a constant support and given us a lot of encouragement. Thank you to our secondary in charge, Mrs. Leela Shetty, primary in charge, Mrs. Madhuri Dikshit, and pre-primary in charge, Mrs. Manjusha Mukashi, for your constant support. A big thank you to Ms. Rosetta Michael for her efforts towards organizing this online Independence Day celebration. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling 10 days ago. It requires a proper planning and details. We are fortunate enough to have a team of very motivated and dedicated teachers at NBPN who know their job and are result-oriented. Sincere thanks to Mr. Rohan Mahekar, Mrs. Preeti Rathod and Mrs. Namrata Wadikar for training the students for the school choir. I would like to thank a Melodious Teachers Choir, Mr. Rohan Mahekar, Mrs. Rosetta Michael, Mrs. Shakila Mulani, Mrs. Snehal Khatar, Mrs. Namrata Wadikar, Mr. Pandurang Bhosle, Mr. Narendra Bari and Mrs. Rupali Dalal for the wonderful mashup. A hearty thanks to Mrs. Sharda Pori, Mrs. Farida Nawab and Mr. Anil Tauri for training the children for the role play. A sincere thanks to Mrs. Kavita Madne for training Shrestha Kumbar for the Independence Day speech. Our deepest thanks to Mrs. Sonia Lunawat, Mrs. Najma Pathan, Mrs. Sheetal Shinde and Ms. Samiksha Parkar for training the students for the graceful dance performance on the song Vande Mataram, and Mrs. Monica Kamurthy and Rosetta Michael for the dance Kesri. We are grateful to our Sanskrit teachers, Mrs. Savita Kate and Mr. Umakant Kare Gore, along with Mr. Narendra Bari for the melodious Sanskrit song. I also want to thank the people who worked behind the scenes to execute the event. Our technical arrangement team, Mrs. Rohini Shinde, Mrs. Anuradha Yeni, Mrs. Monica Kamurthy and Ms. Tehsin. The stage setting team, Mr. Sachin Kumbar and Mrs. Rushali Sabri, and the housekeeping staff. A sincere gratitude goes to all parents for your solid support and encouragement. Finally, I would like to thank our budding rock stars who made this event happy with the impressive performance. Thank you once again. Jai Hind.